Peters Township High School prepares our students, grades 9 through 12, for the ever-changing and growing wide range of post-secondary options available to graduates. Every year, our graduates have the opportunity to engage in so many post-secondary choices. They consider, some will go on to prepare for careers that require a 4-year university degree or greater. Some will experience a 2-year program. Some will go on to career and technical schools and or training through the military. Today, we have Claire Guth from the University of Pittsburgh to talk with us about the booming local manufacturing market in the tri-state area. Claire is the Marketing and Outreach Specialist for Manufacturing Assistance Center in the Industrial Engineering Swanson School of Engineering at the University of Pittsburgh. Welcome, Claire. That was a mouthful.
Welcome.
Welcome. So, Claire, Claire and I have had the opportunity, we've met before, and we've talked about this wonderful program that's going on through Pitt, and I just thought it would be important for her to share some of what's happening with our students and with our community. I understand the University of Pittsburgh has been a major player in preparing local people for the manufacturing workforce. How did the University of Pittsburgh get into that?
Great. That's a very good question. And thank you again for having me out here.
Thank you.
I'm very excited to be in Peters Township. Since 1994, the University of Pittsburgh has had this Manufacturing Assistance Center as an initiative of the Department of Industrial Engineering at Pitt. And it was really tailored towards connecting people with jobs in the manufacturing sector. So it's an economic workforce initiative. It's really one of the only technical school programs that are offered in the country that's funded by a university. And so its success is really an attribute to what happens when a university invests in the community.
Oh, cool. So is there currently and in the future a need for a more trained workforce with manufacturing?
There is. These are Allegheny Conference stats, but in the next 5 years, there's about 22,000 jobs that are going to be needed to be filled in the manufacturing sector. So machinists, CNC programmers, operations.
Is that just for local?
Yeah, locally in southwestern Pennsylvania. Wow. So there's a dire need for people to go into this sector, and these jobs are lucrative. People are earning at $18, $20, $22 an hour, and just from getting a certificate in CNC programming or operations.
Wow. Okay. So tell us a little bit about the programming that Pitt is offering.
So we have 3 different modules that students can do. We can do like a basic introductory to precision manufacturing class. We have a CNC programming and operations class. We also have a CAD class, which is more an advanced CNC class. And so those are all high priority occupations in southwestern Pennsylvania, kind of going back to what we just mentioned about having so many jobs available in this sector. But so we're really just working on connecting people with careers in manufacturing.
So who's eligible for this training?
Anyone. You do not have to apply to Pitt. You do not have to take your SATs. We accept students. We had class started yesterday. There are students who are 18. There are students who are 63. Most people come through the programming for free, and you just have to apply online at mac.pitt.edu.
Great. The cost you mentioned.
Yeah, so it's very hard to get people to go into the manufacturing sector because there's a stigma against these jobs. There's an historic look at manufacturing jobs, and people think that they're for blue-collared or that they're dirty jobs, and they aren't. They're all in very high-tech manufacturing settings. They all have very beautiful facilities that are white walls and advanced technology, and so we're just trying to get people to go into this sector by giving them the opportunity to go through our programming for free.
For free, wow. So how can Pitt afford to offer such free training?
That's a great question. We have a lot of support from a couple economic grants, Department of Labor grants, Department of Community Economic Development grants, and some foundational funding.
You brought a few things with you today. What are those?
These are just some projects that our students made in class. They're all out of aluminum, but we do a lot with steel, and then a lot of these companies do a lot with titanium alloys, and looking towards the future of advanced manufacturing. So CNC is essentially subtractive metal. So you take pieces away. These CNC machines are able to chisel away pieces of metal until you get to the final product. But we look at a lot of advanced technology in manufacturing, and we talk about like additive technology in the future of manufacturing. And 3D printing with metal is also very important, and it's being explored by a lot of major manufacturing companies. However, it's still a couple years away from feasibly doing it cost efficiently. So this is kind of still these jobs that people need. So these are just some.
So a programmer would program the machine.
Correct.
The machine would
be able to kind of cut these out with precision. So it's precision manufacturing. So it's down to a fine tune of 1/12 of a millimeter.
So What type of skills would a student need to enter into the manufacturing industry?
That's a great question. We have students that love to use their hands, like wood shop, like computer automation, anything with coding. Really, there's a lot of pipelines that we're trying to strengthen with getting the next generation of manufacturers in. And so we've seen a lot of success from students, especially who really like computers, or students who like coding. So that's a great asset to have for something like CAD, being able to program computer-aided design.
So one of our students potentially could come through our programs that we offer here at the high school, which are, we do have CAD, and we do have a few manufacturing programs, and we do have wood shop. And students also have the ability to go to the Western Area Career and Technology Center to get training there as well. So they could have that as a precursor and actually come in. But for the student who is going through high school, has never been introduced to any of that, and then they're thinking, oh, I think I might like to do that. Are they able to come? What kind of academic skills would they need to be able to walk into your classroom?
Really, I mean, it's open to interpretation. So the students really just need to be interested in making things with their hands and looking at the future of manufacturing and connecting people with this gap of 22,000 jobs that are available. We're working on strengthening this maker to manufacturer pipeline and really introducing kids to just, especially we do a lot of programming at the MAC. We're located in Homewood, so we do a lot of programming with youth and doing things like summer camps or having kids come in and just make something or learn how to use a 3D printer. Like just introduce kids to STEM. Obviously, most schools are, y'all are doing tremendous work with STEM. So just introducing kids to these initiatives that are earlier age.
So you have 3 programs. The basic one is the basic machining, and that's was it 8 weeks, I
Correct,
think, 8
yeah.
weeks. It's 8 weeks long, and then it's Monday through Friday from 8 till 4.
8 to 4. So it's pretty intensive, but it's fast. We have a student that graduated from high school on Friday, a couple days ago, and then he started our program yesterday. And he's going to do 2 modules over the summer, and then when his friends go off to college on Labor Day weekend, he's going to have a job making $50,000 a year.
Wow, that's incredible.
All from the summer.
All from summer school, yes.
Yeah.
So that was the other question. So Pitt offers this training in manufacturing. What type of degree or certifications can you get in this?
It's a certificate program, so you'll receive certificates from the University of Pittsburgh in CNC programming and operations, or in CAD or Mastercam programming, and then also in precision manufacturing. And in addition to that, we are in the final stages of getting our credit transferable into Pitt, so students will be able to earn up to 18 credits into Pitt, which is over a semester, and that's for free.
That's incredible. So they get to come for free, get the training. They'll earn up to 18 credits.
Yeah.
And through the University of Pittsburgh, which branch of the university?
Just the main campus.
The main campus, but through the School of Engineering?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, through the Swanson School of Engineering and the Industrial Engineering Department.
Okay. So great. And the certifications that they earn, where can if I decide I've got this certification, I want to work, I don't want to stay in Pittsburgh anymore, even though the jobs are here, if there were another place in the country, could I take that certification?
Absolutely. These certifications, and especially in addition to the certification look at the University of Pittsburgh, we're also getting it's a pre-apprenticeship consortium with the state. So we will receive a certificate from the state of Pennsylvania and the Apprenticeship and Training Office. And those are universally accepted certificates. And we also have NIMS credentials, which is the National Institute of Machining. They'll get credentials for that as well. And so really they can go anywhere. And there's manufacturing hubs throughout America. There are people just as desperate as manufacturing companies in southwestern Pennsylvania trying to get new employees.
So what are the local and national workforce needs at this time, and do we anticipate like the next 15 years?
These companies would expand if they could. If they had employees, they would expand. We work really closely with about 25 companies in southwestern Pennsylvania, and then our students generally will go off to a pool of around 100 employees or 100 companies in southwestern Pennsylvania. So, and we hear this daily. These companies need CNC programmers, they need CNC operators and machinists, and they would expand if they could, but they just don't have this workforce that. So it's very successful, southwestern Pennsylvania's machining and manufacturing sector right now.
So the 3 areas would be the basic machining, the CNC programming, and the third one is?
CAD, and so Mastercam.
Mastercam.
Knowing the software Mastercam.
Oh, okay, knowing the software Mastercam. So a student who comes, the tuition is free. What about other materials that they may need to have?
They just need to show up. We provide everything.
Great.
Calculators, glasses.
So is there what kind of, in terms of teaching, So I know you said you're located at the old Westinghouse Foundry
Yes.
over in Homewood. And I remember when we spoke earlier, you said that was you were probably the least cool person or entity that was in the building. So it sounds like that's an area that's kind of up and coming.
Exactly. So it's an old Westinghouse foundry that's in Homewood, and Bridgeway Capital purchased it 5 or so years ago and transitioned it really into a hub of small to medium-sized manufacturing companies. So there's, aside from us, there's Boxy, which makes 3D printers, the Trade Institute of Pittsburgh's there, which teaches people masonry and carpentry skills and welding, and then Thread is there, which makes fabric and backpacks. They're making backpacks out of fabric that's made from recycled bottles from Haiti and from the Caribbean.
That's cool.
So there's a lot of small to medium, and the success of the building is also attributed to the foresight that they had in transitioning this into a small to medium-sized
So,
manufacturing.
and if I'm thinking about location, it's probably not far from Bakery Square.
Exactly.
Where
so
you have Google.
We're right off of Penn Avenue. We're close to public transportation. A lot of our students take the bus, and the bus stop is the Wilkinsburg Park and Ride. It's down the street from our house, or from our office.
From your office. Okay, that's great to know, because like our kids can take the T from here, and then the T
Absolutely.
would drop them off downtown, and they just take that bus right over. That wouldn't be bad. How do I apply for a program?
We have a website. You can apply online. You can call us at 412-501-6564. But our website's mac.pitt.edu, so mac.pitt.edu.
Okay. And what else did I want to talk about? Is this a competitive program? Is there a wait list to get in?
It is.
How
We're
does
currently full for the summer program, but we'll have another program that will start up in August.
Okay, so the June 4 date is come and gone.
Yeah.
Early August. So if I were interested, I should get
If you're
online
graduating
today.
senior, you could have a couple months off before you start in August. And then
Wow.
come do our programming. And honestly, we are placing, especially students from our CAD programming class, we're placing students with $26, $28 an hour. Their
$26,
jobs.
$28. Wow. So the rate that you talk about, you were talking earlier about placing them. What is your placement rate?
95%. Most of our students get jobs before they graduate. All of them get jobs within
In the local area.
in the local area.
In the local area. Wow,
There's
that's
a
incredible.
ton of manufacturing companies down in Washington County.
I know, we were talking earlier about there being a local company, and we're going to have somebody from their company come in later on this year and do a show with him so that we can learn more about manufacturing. It looks like we're going to get ready for a commercial break, and that we will stop there, and then we will be happy to come back in a few minutes.
I'm Naomi Judd, and I love my dogs. But disasters like hurricanes and floods and tornadoes can leave pets and other animals injured, abandoned, or lost. American Humane Association's Red Star Rescue has been there when disaster strikes. To learn how you can protect your entire family, go to AmericanHumane.org.
During reintegration, you go through the honeymoon stage, you come home and everything is great at first.
When I came back, my wife and children were great, and all of a sudden, my wife goes to work, kids go to school, I'm by myself, and all I'm doing is thinking about my 43 soldiers.
The room could be filled with people that I loved and cared about, and I'd be over here thinking about what happened in Iraq 3 months ago.
You're almost like a stranger when you come back. Everything's different. You're kind of discombobulated.
People were asking me how it was, but I got the sense they couldn't relate to what I had been through, so I just stopped talking about it.
It made a tremendous difference in my life when I chose to get help. In hindsight, it probably saved my life, saved my marriage. I personally believe that I'm also a better soldier.
Sometimes when you come home, it can seem negative, distressing, and concerning. It can all be gotten through and will be gotten through. You're not going to be the same person afterwards that you were before you deployed, and don't try to be. Accept who you are, and now figure out how to move forward and make that positive.
Together, we can change the news. Find out how at safekids.org.
Hi, Hi, welcome back to our show. I'm Judy Alexander, and I'm meeting today with Claire Guth from the University of Pittsburgh. And we're talking about manufacturing in the local area and some wonderful opportunities that the University of Pittsburgh has embarked upon to provide for local citizens. Claire, welcome back to our show. Where we left off, I started thinking about the academic prerequisites. So if I'm a high school student and I'm graduating this year and I'm thinking about, like my math skills may not be strong, or perhaps there are holes in my learning. Can I still apply to this program, and what kind of support would be there for me once I got there?
100%. I would say the average math grade reading level of coming in is around 8th or 9th grade. So we teach everything throughout the course. So all the trig, all the calculus. We have great instructors. One of our instructors went to Carnegie Mellon, which is an okay school. I won't tell anyone.
Down the street.
Down the street. So we have a tremendous staff of people that are really, just tremendous at teaching people math. So you don't have to be a strong student. Again, you don't have to take your SATs to get into this University of Pittsburgh initiative. So.
Okay. So you do have some kind of supports that are available that I'd learn the skills that I may be lacking.
Yeah, and even if you don't finish high school, if you have a GED or if you don't even have a GED, we connect people with literacy programs.
Oh, great. So tell us about this teaching staff. You said that you have an instructor who came from that other school down the road. If I come and I'm from a relatively medium-sized high school, or some places some other students may come from a smaller school, do I expect that I'll be sitting in a lecture hall with 300 other students?
No, it's a very fun atmosphere. We have a lot of immersive learning, but at the same time we have classroom training too. So our classes cap at 12 students, so we have a very small teacher-student ratio.
So one's 12 students for one.
About 2 instructors.
Two instructors for 12 students. Yeah. That sounds like a great ratio.
A lot of this is the
we would love that. We would love that in public education. We would love it.
Because a lot of this work is hands-on, so it's important to have teacher-student time.
Okay. So what would you say if you could think about the ratio of the time that one would spend in the books versus the time that they would spend on the floor with the manufacturing and actually doing the hands-on?
It's about 30% in the classroom, learning mostly safety procedures. So they're very dangerous equipment that's on our floor. So we want students to be safe and know the proper OSHA 10 and OSHA 8 requirements. So we have a lot of that's mostly the classroom component, and then the other half, the other 70% students are on the floor using the tools, using the machining.
Okay. So we did talk about training that you do help with job placement, and in that help that you offer. Do you assist with creating resumes and that type of thing, or is it just you make a phone call and?
No, we do a lot of career counseling and career coaching, and just explaining to people what they're going to anticipate the job is going to look like. So we have a lot of staff members from other manufacturing companies come on to our site and talk about, their HR guidelines and what an average day looks like at the manufacturing facility. So, and we do a lot of field trips too to manufacturing facilities.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I know that we have a local manufacturing plant here in Peters, actually, and you mentioned that there are several of them in Washington County. So, someone who's a local resident might find that they can stay here and not really,
you don't have to travel far.
Right. After, of course, they get their 6 or 8 weeks of training. Earlier, you and I were talking about a maker space and some things that students could do if they were not sure that this was, if you're not sure and you want to go and you want to learn a little bit more about it, but you may not necessarily be ready to commit to that 8-week program or that 6-week program. What other types of things do you have for somebody to come check?
Absolutely. So we opened a maker space, and it's really for small businesses, for people in the community to come in. You don't have to be a Pitt student, so you can just come in and take classes on woodworking, 3D printing, laser cutting. We do a lot of classes with our wood router. So we just want people to be able to use their hands and explore with building. And then going back to the maker to manufacturing movement, we're hoping that will potentially strengthen a pipeline of people interested in manufacturing. Right. So our maker space is by no means the answer to the tech shop closing, which is, the tech shop was in Bakery Square and it closed last year. But it's a really good solution to having, a community-based makerspace that's free and has low-cost classes. So we just want people to come and have fun.
So anybody from
Anyone.
any age range, high school kids, middle school?
Mostly 16 and up.
16
for
and up.
Classes that use power tools, but other classes we have students. And we have a lot of community partners too. So we work with a lot of other, like Grounded Strategies and GTech Solutions, that's their previous name. So they bring in a lot of high school students as well. We have
that's
summer
great.
camps coming up this summer.
Oh yeah, what kind of summer camps?
We have a summer camp with the Urban League of Pittsburgh. They're coming in and doing a summer camp. And we have a lot of camps just,
Is it a day camp or
yeah,
is it a
introducing-
sleepover?
Oh yeah, just a day camp.
Just a day camp.
I don't know if we could do sleepovers. Yeah, so just introducing kids to using tools and building projects.
Do you know if there's a cost associated with that?
There is not, but it's affiliated with one of our partner organizations. If you need more information, I'd be glad to provide that.
So Claire, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, how would they email you? Do you have an email address or?
I do. So on our website, mac.pitt.edu, you can find me, and also my email is Claire, C-L-A-I-R-E, Guth, G-U-T-H, @pitt.edu.
Okay, great. So that kind of wraps up our show. Is there anything else that you think would be important for our members to know about Pitt and this program?
Well, just parents. Looking at job outcomes, this is really a testament to the strengthened community that Pitt has and what the strategic plan for the University of Pittsburgh is about, strengthening this broader community and connecting people to jobs. So it's a very good program. It's free. It's from the University of Pittsburgh. We'll do anything to get your kids into manufacturing, but there's these great jobs that are out there. College isn't for everyone.
Right.
So.
Well, and that's true too. I think that a lot of people believe that they have to go on to a four-year school, and I think in our school it's a challenging school. We have a very rigorous curriculum, and we encourage students to take the most that they can and to try, like our advanced placement classes, to try, for example, our woodshop classes or the media classes, things that would give you an idea about whether or not you think you might like something. But we do recommend that no matter where you're going, if you're going directly into the workforce or if you're going into four-year college or a trade school or the military or wherever it is that you might be going to a certification program, you still have to know how to think. You still have to be a critical thinker. And our AP classes offer those opportunities. Not that our other ones do as well, our honors and our academics, but the most challenge that we offer are through the advanced placement courses. But certainly you don't need to take one of those to come into one of your programs that you're talking about for manufacturing. But we always challenge students. You have to challenge yourself to always be growing and always learning and stretching your brain. But if I've never taken one of those AP classes or an even honors class, it sounds like I can still find a place in manufacturing that would be equally rewarding. So the main thing is that if you're interested in manufacturing, you should be somebody who enjoys working with your hands and seeing the finished product. You should enjoy fooling around with, I shouldn't say fooling around with, but playing with things like the two pieces that you brought in today and seeing those come to fruition. That sounds like a lot of students that I know. Not everybody.
It's fun.
Not everybody wants to go on to a four-year college, and not everybody is necessarily going to be successful in a four-year college.
Yeah. And that being said, we
number-
do have some students that are starting at the University of Pittsburgh in the fall at the Swanson School of Engineering that are doing our program right now. So it's such a diverse group of people.
Right, yeah. So if you have any questions and you want to learn more about it, please look up mac.pitt.edu. I'm sorry, mac.pitt.edu, and you could learn more about this wonderful opportunity. It could be something that you do over the summer prior to moving on to a four-year degree, if that's where you're going, or if you're going to the military or to another trade or tech school. You can certainly do either of those. So that's about it for our show today, and there is a future and it is coming. That's the name of our show. There is a future and it is coming. And I am Judy Alexander, and I will see you the next time. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you.